everyone, welcome back to another third grade math lesson. My name is Miss Chisbar, and today we're going to continue working on times tables, but today we're going to work on times tables for the number 3. So let's go ahead and get started. You can go ahead and grab your whiteboard and your marker, and we'll be able to start our warm-up. So we are going to start our warm-up with just two simple problems. We're going to talk about the commutative property of multiplication. And so just a quick review for those of you that are still unfamiliar, the commutative property means that I can do 4 times 3, and then if I were to flip it around and do 3 times 4, it would still mean the exact same thing because it gives you the same answer. So we already did the first one. 4 times 3 is equal to 3 times 4 because both of them gives us the same answer, which is 12. So if we look at the next one, 2 times 6, we know that 2 times 6 is also 12. But if we were to flip the numbers and change it to 2 times 6, from 2 times 6 to 6 times 2, it would also still mean the same thing and give us the number 12. Perfect. So let's go ahead and move on to our application problem. I'm actually going to give you guys some time to work on this. I really want to see kind of what you guys come up with. And so I'm going to read it to you. You can go ahead and hit pause and then work on it a little bit. And then I'm going to go over some of the answers after you hit play. So children sit in 2 rows of 9 on the carpet for math time. Aaron says we make 2 equal groups. Vitesh says we make 9 equal groups. Who is correct? And explain how you know using models, numbers, or words. So go ahead and pause this video, give it a try on your own, see what can work. And then when you hit play, I'm going to go ahead and start going over it. So I'm going to start by making these arrays. So we make 2 equal groups. So you can have 2 rows of 9, or you can have 9 rows of 2. So here's the first one. It's going to be 2 rows of 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is our first one. It's 2 rows of 9. So this is the 2 equal groups that Aaron is talking about. And now I'm going to make 9 equal groups. So I'm going to make 2 groups, or I'm going to make 9 groups of 2. Six, 7. So this is what Vitesh was thinking when he said we can make 9 equal groups. So who is correct? Well, let's take a look. Do both of these have, are both of these equal groups? That's the first thing we need to look at. And so yes, they are both equal groups. Are both of these the same number of students? So it should give us a total of 18 students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there's 18 here. And then on this side, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So both of them are formed in equal groups. They have the same number of students in each group. So who is correct? Well, they are both correct because of the commutative property. So if you look at this one, if you were to take this array and turn it like this on its side, it would look exactly the same as this. And if, same thing over here. If you were to take this array and turn it, it would look like that. So and so let's look at the multiplication problems for this. This would be 2 groups times 9 in each group. And this would be 9 groups times 2 in each group. So they're the same. So we have the same number of equal groups. So they both have equal groups here and equal groups on the other one. They are the same multiplication problem, just reversed, and they both have groups of 18, or a total of 18. So either pattern would be correct. You could sit students in that pattern and it would work. So both Aaron and Vitesh are correct. All right, so now we're gonna work on this concept a little bit more. I have 2 arrays here, 2 arrays here. I have 3 groups of 4 and I have 4 groups of 3. And we're gonna make a multiplication sentence out of this first, and then we're gonna talk about the commutative property a little bit, and we're gonna work on our threes times tables. So here I have my multiplication sentence. I have 4 groups, and there are 3 circles in each group. So I have a total of how many circles? I have 3, 6, 9, and 12. So the reason I'm counting by threes is because when we skip count by threes, that's the same thing as saying our threes times table. So if I go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, and I keep going, 21, 24, 27, and 30. That's just like me saying 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9. So every time I skip count, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 4 times 3 is 12. Every time I skip count, that's like saying our threes times tables. So over here, we have 3 groups of 4. So I'm going to write my multiplication sentence. I have 3 groups. There are 4 circles in each group. Whoops, it's a little messy. Give me 1 second. 4, there we go. And so I have a total of 12. So that's commutative property because I switched. I have the same arrays, but they look a little bit different, and I switched the numbers in my multiplication sentence, but they give us the same answer. Let's take a look at the next one. So here's another array. This is just going to help us practice our times tables. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. So I have 8 groups, and there are 3 circles in each group. So to find the answer to this, I want us to try and skip count like we were doing earlier. So we're going to skip count by threes 8 times because we have 8 groups. So I'm going to do it on my fingers. I'm just going to skip count. You can skip count out loud with me. But here we go. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24. So the answer I got is 24. Let's double check that by using our array to skip count. So I have the first row, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, and 24. So now we have that 8 times 3 is equal to 24. Perfect. Let's go ahead and move on to the next problem. So now it says draw an array that shows 6 rows of 3. So I did that here for you. So you go ahead and draw this on your whiteboard as well. But we're going to go ahead and do that skip counting again to practice our times tables. And then we're going to write a multiplication sentence. So let's do that first. I have 6 rows because I have 6 groups. And each row has 3 each. So now let's try skip counting. So we're going to skip count by threes 6 times. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to double check my answer by using the array. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. So that is perfect. Now we're going to take this and flip it around and use the commutative property. So on our next slide, we're going to do, so now it says draw an array that shows 3 rows of 6. So that's what I have right here. I have 3 rows and there are 6 circles in each row. So I'm going to write my multiplication sentence. So I have 3 groups with 6 in each group equals what? Well, we know that this is the exact same thing. It just looks a little bit different as the last problem. So we know that 3 times 6 is 18. We're going to count to make sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 12, and then 18. All right, so now that we've had a little bit of practice, I am going to bring up our problem set. We're just going to try that out a little bit to see. Stop sharing my screen. Sorry about that. We're going to try out the problem set, do the first couple of problems, and probably take a look at the exit ticket as well, just so that we have a little bit more practice. And then, as always, if you want more practice, you can look on the learning guide, and the learning guide will have more resources for you. So here is our first problem. We're gonna do 1, 2, and 3 first, and then we'll take a look and see kind of how we're doing. Where's my pen? Here we go. So first thing I'm gonna use my stamper. You guys can use your whiteboards, but it says draw an array that shows 5 rows of 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. 5 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and here is our 5. So that's all we have to do. We don't have to do anything else. Now it says draw an array with 3 rows of 5. So 1, where'd my stamp go? There it is. 3 rows of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So write a multiplication sentence for the arrays in problem 1 and 2. So list the first factor in each expression to represent the number of rows. So that means that the first number in our multiplication sentence is going to be how many rows that we have. So in problem 1, we have 5 rows, so that's going to be the first number, and there are 3 in each row. Use the commutative property to make sure the equation is true. So let's take a look. We have 3 rows here, and there are 5 in each group. Are those equal? Do they mean the same thing? Yes, that is true, because 5 times 3 is the same thing as 3 times 5. We can double check that by counting the number of stars that we have in our array. So this one has 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. And on this, so this is 15 right here. On this side, it says, we're counting by 5, so 5, 10, and 15. So they are equal to each other. I'm going to clear this so that I can scroll. All right, we're going to do A, B, and C, and then we're going to, of number 4, and then we're going to scroll down to 5 and do A, B, and C in that as well. So I'm going to do B. I'm going to have you guys do C on your own, and then we'll check it. So here's the example, 2, 3. So I have 2 groups with 3 in each group equals 6. So now I'm going to try that with 3 2s. So I have 3 groups with 2 in each group is equal to what? It's equal to 6. So go ahead and try C on your own. Actually do C and D on your own because they go together. And then once you press play, I'm going to go over that. So 4, 3 4s, part C. I have 3 groups, and I want to have 4 in each group. So how many do I have? So we're going to try skip counting again. Means we're going to skip count by 3s 4 times. So 3, 6, 9, and 12. So the answer is 12. Now we're going to use the commutative property and just flip it around. So I have 4 groups, and there are 3 in each group. So the answer is 12. Perfect. All right, I'm going to clear my screen. We're going to move down to number 5. All right, so number 5 says find the unknowns that make the equation true. Then draw a line to match related facts. So we're matching sides here. So 3 times 9, we're going to do that one first because we can skip count by 3s. So we're going to do part B first. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So 3 times 9 equals 27. Now let's look at A. We're just going to skip count by 3 5 times because that is what's on there. So ready? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So this is 15. All right, now let's solve the last one. We have 7 3s plus 1 3. So 7 plus 1 is 8. So we have 8 3s. I'm just going to write this in cursive real quick. That looks really funky. That's just 3s right there. 8 3s. So 8 3s. We're going to skip count again. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So this is equal to 24. So now we just have to match. 27 equals 9 times what? Well, we have 27 equals 9 times 3. We just found out that 5 times 3 is 15, and 8 times 3 is 24. So now we're just going to match them up. So this one's going to go with this one's going to go here, and this one's going to go there. Perfect. Okay. Let's move down to number 6. All right, so Isaac picks 3 tangerines every day for 7 days. Use circles to draw an array that represents the tangerines that Isaac picks. So I'm going to start 1, 2, 3. So that's day 1, and we're going to do that 7 times. So we have day 1, oops, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, and day 7. So this is just a very spread out array, but it is still an array because we have 3 groups with 7 tangerines in each group. So there's our array. We move down to part 2. So part 2 says, how many tangerines does Isaac pick in 7 days? So we have, I'm just going to bring this down with us. Here's our array. So write and solve a multiplication sentence to find the total. So we have 3 groups. So we have 3 rows here. Each row has 7 tangerines in it. So how many do we have all together? So I'm going to skip count. You could also just count the number of circles, but we want you guys to practice skip counting. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. There are 21 tangerines there. You can double check by counting them all, but there should be 21 there. So Isaac decides to pick 3 tangerines every day for 3 more days. Draw X's to show the new tangerines on the array in part A. So I am going to take my stamper and I'm going to add 3 more days worth of tangerines. I'm going to do it on the other side though because of our writing right here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So this is what our new array looks like. I'm going to scroll down, write and solve a multiplication sentence to find the total number of tangerines based on the new one. So now how many tangerines do we have in each row? We still have 3 groups, but how many are in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to have 3 groups with 10 in each. So this one is really cool because you can skip count by 10s easily, or you can just keep skip counting by 3s. Since we are focusing on 3s, I'm going to skip count by 3s. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. Here we go. So that is how you solve problem 6. Okay, I'm going to clear the screen real quick, and we're going to look at number 7. So Sarah buys bottles of soap. Each bottle costs $2. How much money does Sarah spend if she buys 3 bottles of soap? So we know that we have 3 bottles of soap, and each bottle of soap costs $2. So we're going to skip count by 3s again. We're only going to do it twice. So we have 3 groups with $2 each. So we have 3 and 6. So 3 times 2 equals $6. Clear my screen so I can move down. How much money does Sarah spend if she buys 6 bottles of soap? So again, they are still $2 each, but now we have 6 of them. So this time I'm going to count by 2s just because it makes the most sense because we don't have any 3s in this problem. So I'm going to count by 2s 6 times. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So this will cost $12. All right, gonna clear. and that's the exit ticket. So we're gonna stop there. So I'm gonna stop there for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you're interested in more practice, the learning guide has the exit ticket and the homework that came with this lesson. So if you're interested in practicing those, feel free to go ahead and try this out. You're more than welcome to do that. Also, in the learning guide, I have like some multiplication games to help you practice your times tables so you can start getting those down. And then there's also some other worksheets that you guys can try out as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.